Hello friends, and welcome to another energy update for July 31st through to August 7th. I'm so excited to dive into our themes for everybody this week, getting this general read for what to expect with your week ahead. I hope last week you had a beautiful week and were able to truly just take some time to enjoy that beautiful sunshine wherever you may be. So to dive right into our themes for this week, we have some really cool ones. We have sleep, rest, and renew, an emphasis on physical health. We have release work this week, bravery despite fears and obstacles, smooth sails, retaining faith, trusting God is your source, releasing worries in favor of joy, procrastination, new studies and enthusiasm, worthiness and expansion, realizing we are supported. So to dive right into our first theme of sleep, rest, and renew, as soon as I tuned in this week, that was exactly what popped in my head was we're needing to rest, we're needing to renew, we're needing to take time out to slow down the busyness of life and to really take this opportunity of this beautiful summertime to really enjoy and reinvigorate our physical selves, our mental selves, our energetic and emotional selves. And what they're really showing me is this whole body recuperation. So if any of you have been feeling that exhaustion or you've been feeling a little off physically, it's really telling us this week to take the time to really pamper yourself. So we have so much about releasing stress, doing what we need to do to relax the mind, the body, and our schedules to really recharge. We have this theme of being gentle as well. So when I heard being gentle, it really gave me this thought of being gentle even within our mind. So how are we speaking to ourselves? Are we beating and berating ourselves when we do slow down, when we do take a break, when we do rest? Are we allowing ourselves to really capture the divine feminine essence and really take that time to slow down and reinvigorate and see where we are even on a spiritual level? Are we checking in with our bodies? Are we saying no to things that don't light us up, that drain our essence? Are we instilling those proper boundaries? That was a huge thing to start asking ourselves, because I'm really seeing a lot of us being busy. And there's nothing wrong with being busy, but the past few months we've been really called to go into that divine feminine, nurturing ourselves, mothering ourselves, and giving ourselves this opportunity to do this introspection and inner quiet. That's what I'm really kind of feeling, is this inner quiet, this inner retreat that sometimes we need to prioritize. So even if your schedule is really busy, I'm seeing us begin to carve out time. So can you schedule in quiet time for yourself, where you are no longer needed by anyone, where you are no longer feeling you need to be somewhere else other than where you are? And asking ourselves those questions. Do I have proper boundaries within my own mind, within my own belief systems that say it's okay for me to rest? Am I allowing myself to thwart those thoughts that say I cannot just be, or I don't have time, or I need to be this person and be available for everyone other than myself? You know, we're really being called to check in with these stories that we might have attachment to and letting ourselves give ourselves a break. Okay? It's almost like, what if you just gave yourself a break? Give yourself a break. Let go of all that heaviness, all those responsibilities, all the shoulds, the shouldn'ts, and really allow yourself that rest. Because I'm seeing a lot of us go into the state where our mind is literally taking over. We're having this flurry of worries or anxieties. And this is very natural. And I really want to point this out, especially in the time that we're in, the energy that we're in. We're being kind of shifted lately into this new unknown territory. So a lot of us have been feeling this need for change, but unsure of what that change is going to be, or unsure of what that's going to look like. And we're feeling kind of stuck in this unknowing, like, what is the right move? And I'm seeing a lot of us question ourselves, question life, and how we're living life right now. And that can be stressful. And so what I'm really hearing is this guidance, rather, to just say no to anything that's thwarting you from joy, saying no to things that are making your new experiences scary rather than exciting. And they're really telling us to focus on our perspectives this week of what is truly the way we want to handle these new situations, and making this dedication to self that no matter how scary the unknown may feel, we have this choice of how we are going to move forward in it. If we're going to take on this childlike enthusiasm and excitement of what's to come, or if we're going to feel afraid and worry and obsess, and put ourselves into this state that is really unnecessary. So I'm really seeing us take control of this week, where we're like stopping ourselves when we start going down that path of anxiety and go, you know what? I am powerful. I can have control over my reactions. And yes, I won't be able to control life. None of us can. But we're coming to this acceptance that we are resilient, and no matter what happens, we can move forward. So this is really moving us into this element of release work. So what we need to release, what stories are we saying, and where are we putting a pause on really taking care of ourselves and highlighting the physical health aspect here. So where are we holding on to things even in our physical form? And are we paying attention? Are we truly allowing ourselves to nurture the body and be aware of what physical things are coming forward? What physical symptoms, what signals is our body trying to convey to us? And are we listening? Because I'm really seeing with this release work this week, it has a lot to do with all forms of self. So our physical, our emotional, our mental, energetic, and physical, because we are not just one. And for years and years and years, I know I had this belief that we had to treat everything separately. But as time has moved on, and the more knowledge that I've gained and compiled, and in my own experiences, the more I personally have seen how everything is so interconnected. So I'm seeing us take this more holistic approach this week, and really going into that, like, am I paying attention to my physical self, my energetic self, all these different parts of me? And am I seeing how important it is that I slow down to listen? And with this release work, when we have a physical ailment, I'm seeing a lot of us come with this awareness of, oh, okay, this hurts. So where else am I hurting? And we're actually applying this very logically to our emotions. If something's hurting physically, well, are we emotionally hurting? Are we in pain in anywhere in our lives? Are we in this state where we need to release not only the physical and comfort the physical, but are we needing to comfort the emotions as well, comfort our inner self? And we're beginning to see this full circle of really treating the body in its completeness, which is absolutely beautiful. And as we move into this release work, I'm seeing us literally release this trauma from the physical as well. So when we have a physical ailment, stop and check in. What are your emotions saying about this? What is your physical form trying to alert you to? What have we not been paying attention to? And how can we release the emotions, the root causes of this physical manifestation? So this beautiful energy coming in to help us truly release this total body healing. It's wonderful. So then we have bravery despite the fear and obstacles. So with this, if we do have triggers this week, if we do have obstacles this week, once more, being mindful of our perceptions of them. Have we created these blocks? Have we been feeding into our fears? And how can we begin to once again take the driver's seat in our lives and really begin to navigate these things with courage, with bravery? And this astuteness is what I want to say. So I'm seeing this warrior woman at this time. And so whatever gender you identify, but we're being called to rise up and own our power this week. When we think of that word bravery, a lot of times we associate it with, physical strength or fighting something. And we have this very one way of viewing it, but do we apply bravery to even just facing those little triggers? Do we associate bravery in the sense of giving ourselves that compliment, like, wow, I was really brave that I faced that fear. I was super brave and courageous when I said what I needed to say. And I'm just seeing us apply this word bravery and this quality of bravery and developing it a little bit more so in our lives and even in our daily actions. These little things that maybe we did see as little before, we're beginning to take on this quality of bravery and go, you know what? Yeah, like I am going to hold my power. I am going to hold my stance. And I'm seeing us apply this in any obstacle and any fear that arises this week. We're getting this guidance to take on this energy, this quality of bravery and courage. And a big thing I'm seeing is as we move forward into this new version of self that we've been slowly developing and chipping away at to see, I'm seeing us really dare to be different. So this week we're having this motivation to step out of our cave, to say no, to put in place boundaries when needed. And I'm seeing us really reveal part of this new version of self. And we're really allowing ourselves to be true to who we've become. So whatever fears, whatever obstacles come this week, face them with bravery, face them with this new version of self, and have the courage to ask those questions. And I am hearing the word trigger here and mirror. So some of us might get triggered by relationships or situations in our life this week. And with that, I'm really hearing use that mirror technique. So where are we doing the same thing to ourselves? Where are we needing to look at our own reflection and get honest and real about how we are treating ourselves in this time? And can we have that courage to get real? Can we have that courage to really get that honest truth in whatever situation arises? I'm also seeing a little bit of this karmic energy that wants to come in. So some of us might be releasing past lives. We might be releasing former karma that has been in our energy fields. So this is very full circle with this release work and having that courage to free ourselves from the past completely. And do so in a way that is true to us, that is positive, that is optimistic. And instead of looking at it like, dun, 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 like, oh, I got to do this again, I got to do more, we're looking at it like, I'm freeing myself, I'm releasing my throat chakra. And I'm seeing a lot of us learn to pull that energy from us. And energy work might be very dominant this week. I'm also seeing that. Okay, so definitely book your practitioners or find little techniques to do clearing, specifically around the throat chakra I'm seeing, so clarity can really set in. And then we have smooth sail. So following this theme of ease and grace, of facing these things with courage and bravery, we have this smooth sailing. So releasing fears and gliding through challenges with ease is what I wrote. So once again, we're taking on this new energy of self, this new power that we're developing. And what I'm seeing us do with this is really face these challenges with ease, because we're no longer taking things personally. And with this, I'm actually seeing this theme of forgiveness from last week trickle forward here. So if you have found that relevant for you, where we've been needing some more acceptance, some more forgiveness, this might be coming up for you as well this week. So take this all with a grain of salt. This might be for a select few of you, but I'm definitely seeing this full circle with the forgiveness. So when we once again address the past, when we do this release work and we see whatever that story is that arises for you, we begin to learn that we don't have to take it personally. And as we take on this new version of self, this version of self that recognizes everything in life has happened for us, and we're no longer the victim in life, we begin to take on this perspective that, hey, you know what? In every avenue of my life, I have a choice of how I react to it. I can choose to forgive. I can choose how I view things. I can choose my mindset. And we begin to see that these people in life are really not purposely trying to hurt us. And even if the story is that they are, how can we find that place of acceptance that that is where they are in their journey, that everybody has their path, and regardless of how painful this experience might be or have been, we have this opportunity to grow in each scenario. And what I'm really seeing is this beautiful big perspective come in, where we're beginning to no longer see them as this personal story, but in fact, we see the big picture. We remove those small details that make it personal, that make it hurtful, and we take what good we can from this scenario. And what I'm really seeing is this release of guilt and blame as well. So how can we remove blame? How can we remove guilt or shame, whatever it is that this story brings up for you? And how can we begin to liberate ourselves by seeing the whole story, the truth? And how can we make this situation one that works for us as opposed to working against us? So with this clearing begins to happen with this release. And I'm seeing some of us let go. We're really being called to let go of certain relationships this week, of certain scenarios that we're beginning to see are no longer for our highest good. And I'm seeing us extract these jewels of wisdom, of lessons learned, and we're beginning to apply them to ourselves. It's almost like if you guys have seen the Avengers or any of those fun Marvel movies, they're almost showing me like Thanos' big gold glove and putting in the Infinity Stone. So it's like these beautiful stones that empower us. So that's exactly what they're kind of showing me this example of, is how can we take these jewels, these stones, and add them to our own gauntlet, to our own power. And with that, it's truly beautiful, because we realize these experiences once more are no longer intentionally hurting us unless we choose it to. So it's really beautiful. I'm also seeing this emphasis on the throat chakra here. So as we do this, allowing ourselves to speak our peace, allowing ourselves to do so in a way that reflects who we are now. And I'm seeing us really integrate this truth that the past is over. What's done is done. We are acknowledging these feelings. We're learning from the experience, and we're giving ourselves this permission to have closure, to release the negative emotions, to release the guilt, burning ceremonies, talking with a close friend, speaking to the person in a way that you need to, whatever this looks like for you. But I'm really just seeing us, once again, take away the best from the scenario and seeing how this is now closing a door to create a new opportunity, to create new room in our heart space, in our lives, for something new and welcome. So next thing we have is retaining faith. All is well, okay? So then I wrote awaiting important information and divine downloads. So with this theme, I found this very interesting. So once more, we might be feeling this energy of feeling stuck or feeling like the universe has put us on pause. And we're really needing to be on pause right now, my friends. So if this is you, allow yourself to recognize that all truly is well. You know, we're human sometimes, and we really want to come to that understanding that we can get impatient. We don't see the divine timing sometimes that is really at work in our lives. And if things are slowing down, trust that process, that it is meant to be. So be gentle with yourself. Don't let those anxieties run away with you. Do all that you can for self-care, to look after your needs, to work through those fears, to say no and have those boundaries. And realize that new insights will come in as soon as they are supposed to. So don't rush the process. Don't get impatient this week. I see information coming through. So allow yourself to be open. If anything, meditate regularly. Get in touch with your divine. Get in touch with your inner divine and allow those downloads to come in. And in the meantime, I'm seeing us really focus on love, focus on what we can control, what does bring us joy. And there's a huge highlight on fresh air this week of being in nature. And if you get anxious, I'm seeing that become our retreat this week. So really go for it. Allow yourself to take action when you feel afraid, when you feel unsure, when you feel stuck. Take action in that. Take action in your rest, in your recuperation. Whatever you feel called intuitively to do, follow that instruction and know that it's trustworthy guidance coming from your guides and from your own heart space, okay? So big focus on all is well, finding joy and lightheartedness even through these periods of pause or forgiveness, release. Once more, how can we allow ourselves to come to that place of positivity regardless of where we might stand in our life currently? So after that, we have trusting that God is your source. So once more, I'm seeing some money fears that might be arising for us. And this has been a very strong and dominant theme this month for a lot of us. We've had this trigger of lack. So our human life is really coming into perspective where many months previous, we were getting such a strong highlight around our own spirituality and cultivating that, and we still are, absolutely. But there's been this more focus on our earthly existence and what we can do to create that safety in our lives, that really cultivating the root chakra and having that security and rootedness within Mother Earth and within ourselves and within our own lives right now. So with that comes this removal of stories that were not safe. Okay, so this is what I'm really seeing come up for healing. And this might be a dominant theme even in this karmic energy that I've been seeing wanting to come in and be released. So really check in with that. Are we trusting that we are supported? Are we trusting that God, the universe, whatever you believe in, is supporting you, wants the best for you? And are you allowing yourself to come to this gratitude of this? So instead of, once again, focusing on what's missing or focusing on what isn't a bed of roses at this time, how can we shift our mindset? How can we move to this place of faith, of optimism that all truly is well, my friends, and allowing ourselves to throw the burden, throw the anxieties we have onto our guides to help carry that load. I'm seeing a lot of heart discussions take place this week. I'm seeing a lot of prayer this week. I'm seeing a lot of this, a lot of us going to our tools to use for comfort, like our cards or a trusted friend or mentor. I'm seeing a lot of this support wanting to come in this week, and us actually taking advantage of it, okay? So if you need support, I'm getting very strongly, we need to reach out and ask for it. We need to reach out and take action on that. And when help is offered, to willingly accept it, okay? I'm really seeing that, and I'm seeing once more us take control of our belief systems with that, and allowing this harmony and balance of the divine feminine and masculine to really shine through, okay? It's really cool. And I'm really seeing this harmony once more come in with our human and spiritual self, so we can really live in this more evolved way. So next we have releasing worries in favor of joy. So I feel like we've touched a bit on that already, but that being said, following through of this, we have once more this element of being proactive when we are in this state of worry. And what I really got was this highlight on dreams as well. So be mindful this week of what you're dreaming and what is coming up for release. What is trying to signal you of what trauma is wanting to be let go. So I'm really being shown dreams. So some of us running, some of us feeling this need to escape. And once more, it's highlighting our need of safety. So how can we create this safety? How can we create this element where we're no longer anxious in life, but we're grounded in our joy? We're grounded in this perspective that life is working for us. So be very mindful of your dreams and really be mindful of changing the story. So if we're catching ourselves in this anxiety of worst case scenarios of what's going to go wrong, what's going to happen, is life is going to just rip the rug from under me, how can we change the narrative? Seeing positive affirmations here, seeing us really be mindful and taking control of our thoughts in favor of joy, okay? So then we have this energy of procrastination. So I wrote taking the bull by the horns and making forward movement. So where are we needing to push ourselves out of our comfort zone? Where are we needing to get back to that unfinished project? Where are we needing to just kick ourselves in the pants to just really move forward, okay? So I'm seeing some of us need to have greater flexibility because I'm seeing a lot of us view our projects or our goals and desires in a very linear way, where it's like it can only be this way, and you're not seeing the plethora of other options that are available to bring about this dream, to bring about your goal, or whatever this might be for you. And I'm seeing us cultivate this frustration with this. But the advice here is to become more flexible. So how can I become more flexible? What am I trying to control? Where do I need to let go and let the divine take the lead? How can I allow myself to trust the outcome will always be for my highest good? And once again, how can I remind myself all day long that I am safe? Okay, and really cultivating this energy of that, and then taking the forward action we need to take to bring about our dreams to fruition. So I'm seeing some of us make an action plan. So if there's something that you've been wanting to do but you've been procrastinating it, I'm seeing a lot of us journal. Why am I actually trying to avoid this? Is it because I'm overwhelmed? Is it because I don't have a proper plan in place? Is it because there's too many contributing factors? And how can I release that pressure? How can I release the overwhelm? How can I make a practical plan of action, an achievable plan of action that I can make daily progress with, instead of piling on the pressure, instead of piling on the guilt of not getting accomplished what I want to get accomplished? And I'm seeing us really just take, once again, this responsibility. How can I make this work? How can I stop the procrastination and do what I said I was going to do? And with this pride and recommitment to yourself and your dreams. Really beautiful. Next, we have this new studies and enthusiasm. So focusing on our desires. So with that, I really feel like the past few weeks we've been having this reawakening experience where we're remembering things from perhaps former lifetimes and even the past in this current lifetime, rediscovering the joy in our old hobbies or things that we picked up for a while but then put down. And I'm seeing this new enthusiasm come in, like this reminder of the past, of what felt good, what gave you joy. And it's like, once again, we're beginning to reprioritize our joy. So with this reminder of these former gifts, with this reawakening, we're really having this beautiful enthusiasm that comes in and this need to further educate ourselves. So I'm really getting this push for a lot of us, make the commitment to it. If it's bringing you joy, if it's calling, don't ignore the call. And once again, this might be where that procrastination might be coming in. You know what you want to do, so why are you holding yourself back? And if it's money, if it's fear, how can you create that action plan? How can you release the worries and really face the fear head on to see that it's really no fear at all? So I'm really seeing this empowerment with this enthusiasm that comes with this, where it's like, oh my gosh, actually I do want to revisit this. Oh my goodness, I actually do want to commit to this, and I'm going to make sure I actually commit. And it's this beautiful energy of joy again that comes through, and the divine is celebrating this. So really allow yourself to focus on what you desire and make that conscious effort to really commit to you. And with this, we have our final theme of worthiness and expansion. So it's really funny. They're showing me a lot of us letting loose, this dancing, this movement, this fluidity. And I think this was a theme a bit last week as well, if I recall. But that being said, are we allowing ourselves to be flexible, to dance, to be free, to express ourselves? And really, with this example, I'm seeing us become free. And with that freedom, we begin to let go of the unworthiness, the feeling that we don't deserve what we want. And I'm seeing this dancing as this expression of freeing ourselves from these stories. And as we free ourselves from the story of I don't deserve, expansion comes. So what I wrote after this was rising into the full potential and allowing ourselves to embrace the plethora of possibility. So with that, are we allowing ourselves to really step into our potential? Are we allowing ourselves to embrace the fact and be flexible enough to see that there is other possibilities available? And some of us are still knocking on old doors, is what they're showing me. So are we allowing ourselves to see that that door is closed and it's time to open a new one? So what I wrote after was, when one door closes, God opens another. So whatever has recently closed in your life, whatever is coming to closure in your life, can you come to that forgiveness and acceptance that that path is over? And allowing ourselves that process of grief and let go and release, but then acknowledging the joy and beauty that awaits with this new door that is opening for us. So we're really getting this rebirth cycle, this total transformation. And a lot of us are opening ourselves up to completely new paths. So getting excited about that, seeing that this new opportunity, this new door that's opening for us is going to help us really step into all of who we are. Really allowing ourselves to sparkle and shine, to own our own divine power. And with this, I'm seeing us really let go of this need to please, okay? So once again, seeing our worth, we begin to stop enabling others in our lives that have been dragging us down, that have been perhaps soul sucking is what I'm actually kind of seeing. Maybe some energetic vampires in our lives that we've just allowed ourselves to succumb to. And with that, I'm seeing this boundary come in place, this truth that speaks from the heart, this beautiful ownership of our own power, our divinity, and who we are. And we cut those ties to things that really aren't resonating. So where we might be enabling others, we're getting this heads up this week to really be mindful. Where are we needing to speak the truth? Where are we needing to be honest with who we are now and our honest opinions? Where do we need to let go of this belief we need to people please? We need to be less than others. Where we constantly need to bolster others instead of ourselves, and allowing ourselves to come to this equilibrium, this harmony and proper healthy balance once more. And to lastly, get excited about our spiritual expansion, because I'm seeing a lot of this week. We're big emphasis on the crown chakra here. So where we are connecting with the divine, where we are opening up our connection in general with life, with our spirituality. And I'm seeing this beautiful belief come in that we believe in miracles, that we can let go, we can choose consciously what we are believing, and we have the courage to choose different. And it's really beautiful, my friends. So lastly, I'm going to read the last thing that I wrote for us, which was realizing we've been right where we've needed to be all along. We are supported. So this is exactly the realization that I'm seeing really land in each of our hearts. We are not alone. We are supported. Every single step that we've taken, even if it feels like it's been a step back, has been for our highest good, my friends. And we're coming to this realization that everything we've gone through, even the hardships in the past, even the hurt we might have endured thus far in our journey, it has served such a purpose for us. And now it's up to us to change our perceptions, to see how it has emboldened us instead of letting it take from us. And once more, this warrior energy comes forward. Once more, this release of what no longer serves begins to happen. We begin to whole and fully love ourselves, and giving ourselves this total freedom to claim the life that we truly deserve. So it's absolutely beautiful this week, all that we are being shown, all that we are learning. And I really encourage each and every single one of you to really flow with these energies this week to make the real best of each situation you might be in. So with that, my friends, this reading comes to a close, and I thank you so much for tuning in. I really hope you enjoy these weekly updates. If you do, please let me know down below in the comments or send me a message. I love to hear how they resonate for you. Also, if any of you are interested in a session, or if you're interested in any of my courses, I am strongly trying to put forward my new Reiki courses that also include guidance sessions that I feel are going to be so uplifting for those of you who are really serious about committing to your journey to spiritual expansion. So let me know if any of those truly call, and I will leave my information below. Sending you all so much love and light. Have a beautiful and blessed day.